Without a doubt, Elon Musk is the most famous CEO in the world. Whether he is the best at his job is a debatable question. But it's rare to come across someone of fame and fortune as Elon Musk. And today, you will see that his hiring procedures are also very special and exciting. However, before we will get to it, it's interesting to point out that a few days ago, Elon Musk tweeted that he is quitting. He said, "Thinking of quitting my jobs and becoming an influencer full-time." After countless followers weighed in throughout the comments section, expressing everything from approval to disbelief, Elon stayed quiet. However, let's hope that story won't have any continuation. And now, let's go back to our main topic. How does Elon Musk hire the best professionals in the world? Well, this is a situation that happened to many interviewees. Imagine you go to the interview in Tesla. You enter a room, you see Elon Musk sitting, waiting for you. As soon as you enter, he looks at you and asks one very difficult question that you would never expect to hear. You are standing on the surface of the Earth. You walk 1 mile south, 1 mile west, and 1 mile north. You end up exactly where you started. Where are you? Fascinatingly, many of the applicant engineers usually solve the problem and guess the correct answer, and that correct answer will be discussed later in the video. However, that situation happened in the infancy of the companies, when Tesla and SpaceX were being built from the ground up. The highly intelligent Elon Musk interviewed single candidates who applied there. In fact, none of them were denied an interview at that time, according to inner circle sources. Interestingly enough, it didn't matter what job they were being interviewed for either, because the CEO wanted to hear from everyone who applied, singularly. Here, Musk was looking for the process to the conclusion, and in a way, he was generally not too fussed with a wrong answer, but more concerned with the appropriation or the critical analysis thinking that would become the candidate's final conclusion. So here, we have a big tick for critical thinking, even on the most brain-teaser type questions. So what else does Mr. Musk value when interviewing potential candidates? It seems he might be looking for candidates who think outside the box. And on Twitter, this became clear as he asked for ace engineers to apply for a position at Gigafactory Berlin. This location is a European Tesla battery manufacturing plant. His quote on Twitter asked applicants the following: "When sending your resume, please describe a few of the hardest problems you solved and exactly how you solved them." This genius question is made up of elements which helped Musk to sift through an array of candidates. And yes, again, it did pertain to critical thinking, but so much more too. The candidates would need to have autonomy within their answers. It would not be a Googleable answer or something they could mimic from anywhere else. They were personal, highly explanatory, and very specific answers which were required. Here, the best part was that Musk would 1. Receive the answer in a written format. 2. Get more than one answer per candidate because he was asking for a few answers. 3. Allow them to be super explanatory so he can assess their processing. And 4. Ask them to specifically give examples of the hardest problems, which was done within his tweet on the popular platform Twitter. It's already clear that he loves critical thinking, and he also enjoys seeing how a person gets to the conclusion that they do. He also seems to value separatism in the form of good old-fashioned autonomy, especially where problem-solving skills are concerned. We could even go as far to say that Musk enjoys having the explanation thoroughly explained so he can perceive it like the applicant can. How did you get to the conclusion for that particular problem? One might even go as far to say that he seems to be looking for scientific philosophers who might not necessarily be right about everything, but who can dismantle and attack a problem or a brain teaser by thinking their way through it and by thoroughly examining each section in turn. You start at A, and to get to B, you have to do X, Y, Z. Elon seeks other great traits too. Musk seems to look for a lot when interviewing for his company SpaceX. Here's a list of the general introductory questions an applicant is likely to be asked if they want to become an intern at SpaceX. 1. In 5 minutes or so, tell me about yourself and your strengths. 2. Why do you want to work here? 3. What was your greatest engineering challenge and how did you overcome it? It seems that Musk is looking for expertise in the areas of technology, science, engineering, space, and rockets too. So have you got time to study in these areas and show yourself off to one of the leading space and technological entrepreneurs of the 21st century? You're going to need brains and know-how, plus a splash of critical thinking to serve you well. And many times your answers would need to be written as well as verbalized, so you'll need to be quite confident in speaking and great with language too. It sounds like a career opportunity that only a select few would ever have the pleasure of competing for. But space is the final frontier, and you'd need to be a super clever and an autonomous individual to make the grade. And the most satisfying thing, you'd get to learn and work on future technologies before the rest of the world even sees them or uses them. Who knows how far his companies might lead the world, and where we might end up being able to go as humans because of the work that he does. Well, that's definitely one small step for man, and one giant leap for mankind. Imagine being able to work for Musk, or even be personally interviewed by the high-grossing, super successful employer, to be allowed to see and work on some of the world's most ingenious and popular scientific advances of our time. I mean, for some, just meeting Musk would be out of this world, bucket list worthy. Now let's go back to our main interview question. You're standing on the surface of the Earth. You walk 1 mile south, 1 mile west, and 1 mile north. You end up exactly where you started. Where are you? The answer is the North Pole. So, if it happens, if at some point you will get interviewed by Elon Musk, we hope that this video would help you. And finally, if you like this video, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. It will be a great support for the channel.